Hey guys, welcome to another episode of One-on-One Coaching, where we believe we not only have the right to control our lives, we deserve to create them. In yesterday's video, I spoke a little bit about the mistake I made when I became a leader for the first time. I had this tendency to assume that because I was a high producer before I got promoted, I assumed that I had to do that again as a manager, but I just had to do more of it. That was my comfort zone, and that's what I did, and that was totally wrong. But I didn't figure that out until years later, when one of my prior team members stopped me in the hallway and out loud pretty much said, "Hey, can I give you some feedback?" By then, he was already a couple of years doing something else in a different team. But this time around, for whatever reason, he decided to give me the feedback, and he simply said out loud with everyone listening, "Hey, you suck at delegating." And I mean, I can't say it didn't sting. It was actually kind of like a slap on the face, especially when it's been years since he worked for me. But he was actually right. I had the tendency to just try to do everything on my own, have responsibility for everything, and I wanted to make decisions on almost anything. So it was a struggle to let things go. So the question here is, how do you delegate? How to delegate? I think that the easiest way to do this is to first just identify what are your team's strengths, what are their talents, what do they do very well. That's one thing. The second thing you want to identify is how much of a rookie are they? Have they been exposed to some of the projects that they have to do before, or are they totally new? Depending on their level of exposure, the delegation pieces would change. So first, with the strengths, the reason why I say it's important to identify the strengths is because you want to identify your weaknesses and delegate the things that are in your weakness area to your staff. So and hopefully those overlap with their strengths. So that's one way to think about it. Find things that you don't do very well, or do you do okay, but somebody else can do better in your team, and delegate some of those projects or tasks to them. That's one version of delegating. The other idea of delegation could be by following the kind of like a sequence of, if it's the first time they are doing it, it's okay for you to do it with them seeing you. So you kind of like do it and show it. Then the next time around, you allow them to take control of the project while you're watching. And that way you're there to give them feedback, maybe redirect them if something is totally off, but at least they're starting to get a little bit more responsibility on that project. Once they have mastered it, then the process for that is, okay, now that they can do it on their own, maybe they can start finding somebody else to teach them how to do that process or that project. So that's one way to do it. If the person is really new, it's probably better for you to do it, explain what is the project and why it's important, then show them how it's done, let them do it, and then counsel them or coach them if needed, and follow that process. But if they have already done it before and they seem to be a master at it, then there's no reason why you should do it. If somebody else does it better than you, then allow them to do it. Most likely you're going to think that you can do it better, and that could be right because you're so used to doing it that you obviously got promoted because you were doing it so well. So now you think that you're the one that can do it best. That's okay. Find somebody that can do it 80% of the way, and they get better. But learn to delegate some of those things, because now your role as a leader is to really think about the strategy, develop your staff, and find ways for your team to succeed. It no longer is about just producing stuff. Your production now comes in the sense of strategy, mindset, developing of staff. So hopefully that gives you ideas. comment below with any other questions, maybe struggles or strategies to implement it. If you're not receiving these, feel free to subscribe or let me know also in the comments, and I'll add you to the daily list for these videos. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.